Hey everybody, it's the Jim and Dave beer review. Now, you might notice something's missing. That would be Dave. Dave couldn't be here tonight because this is not our regularly scheduled review night and he has to work. Sorry, Dave. Originally I thought, well, I will film myself and I'll put Dave in later using the magic of digital video editing, but I thought to myself, well, I want there to be a certain integrity to the beer review. In other words, I want it to be honest. And I thought, well, as maybe funny as it would be to put Dave in sort of after the fact, kind of like Jabba the Hutt with Han Solo and Star Wars: A New Hope movie, I thought to myself, well, that's kind of cheesy, and I did film it that way originally. I thought, no, I want the beer review to be honest, because we're giving honest opinions, and we want you, the viewer of this particular YouTube channel, to feel like you can trust us. So I decided to do this one by myself. Now you can say, well, Jim, what's the big hurry? Why couldn't you wait for Dave to be there? Well, the thing is, this particular brew was brought to me by my coworker, soon-to-be former coworker, Anthony Martino, whose cousin apparently brewed this beer. I thought, and he was going to give it to me last week, and he said, well, I don't want to give it to you because, once it's in these growlers and you open it up, it may go flat, after a couple days. And today's Monday, and he gave it to me today, and by the time Saturday rolls around, even though I didn't have to open it until Saturday, I thought, well, what if it's flat on Saturday? So, in the interest of expediency and enjoying this beer, in its optimal carbonated state, I decided to do it myself. And Dave said, go for it. So he's very cool. Now, what is this beer, you may say? Glad you asked. This is a English Pale Ale. Now, you've heard of Indian Pale Ales, American Indian Pale Ales, American Pale Ales. This was told to me that this is an English Pale Ale. Now, I think this might actually be a little different than most pale ales because of the description I got here. Maris Otter and 2-row base biscuit, wheat, caramel, roasted barley, and additional grains were used to making this beer. I guess some of the other hops were Centennial, Simcoe, Fugel, and has a 40 on the International Bitterness Unit and a gravity of 1.02. Alright, so pretty good for a pale ale. Randy Young is the brewer. The company name is Darkwood Brewing. Facebook link would be facebook.com/Darkwood Brewery. Go check them out on Facebook. There's their plug. Alrighty, so this is a English Pale Ale. Now, those of you who have watched the review know Dave's not necessarily a fan of pale ales, but I am. Okay, well, carbonation is apparently not a problem. Nice thick head on it. Now, this came in a growler, so no bottle cap floating test, but I think it's safe to assume with this particular one. And you'll notice I'm using a smaller one. In honor of Dave being missing, I decided not to use the usual review giant mug, but I wanted to have a smaller one because it represents the diminished reviewing capacity of Dave not being here. But we left his seat empty in Dave's honor. Alright, well, let's give it a look at the color. Excellent color. This actually seems a little bit darker than your average pale ale. Why do they call it pale ale? Maybe because it's pale. This isn't particularly pale. But, hey, no judgments yet. Maybe English pale ales are darker than Indian pale ales. So, not too bad. Don't see a lot of like the little bubbles coming up that you might see in a commercial beer. But perhaps that's a good thing. Maybe when it's fresh that doesn't happen. Maybe the carbonation of a mass-produced beer is somewhat artificial. Whereas this one might be more on the natural side. I don't know. I haven't talked to Mr. Young. But looking forward to it. Hopefully get a chance to go down and visit him in his brewery one of these days. Because if this is good, I want to get more. Okay. Here we go. Siki sake, hoy, hoy, hoy. Siki sake. I forget that. Just cheers to you guys and cheers to Dave. Oh wait, didn't give it a sniff. Sorry, gotta do things in order. Not particularly aromatic. Doesn't have a big aroma. But smelling it does make my mouth water. That's a good sign. No obvious notes, and that could be a good thing because I've noticed sometimes when something has notes, it has a very skewed flavor. So this is a good sign. All right, now's the time for the real toast. Cheers. Oh man, that is good. Oh my Lord in heaven, I can't believe how good that is. And this is from a very small brewery apparently. You know, friend of a friend kind of a thing. Wow. Marisada and 2-row base biscuit. Wheat caramel, roasted barley, additional grains, or Centennial, Simcoe, Fugel, hops. Oh, there's a hops. Wow. This is fan-freaking-tastic. This could be one of the best pale ales I ever had. Now, the first pale ale I ever had was Sierra Nevada, which is an Indian pale ale. Excuse me. It's hard to do beer reviews without having a little gas come up. That's a good sign. Yeah, well, fantastically smooth. Not, you know, it said it had 40 IBUs, but to tell you the truth, this isn't all that bitter on my palate. Wow, it says 40, but it seems more like a 20, but hey, maybe that's just how it's brewed. It's amazing. It doesn't seem like it's a 40, but I'll take him for his word. Well, I gotta tell you something. If pale ales are in their own category, and maybe it should be, we've been talking about maybe categorizing the different beers we have, because, hey, it's a fruit beer, it's not quite the same as a lager, not the same as an ale, not the same as a stout. So if Indian pale ales, or pale ales in general, whether it be English or American, had their own category, in the category of pale ales, this is probably the first 10 I've ever had. Now, if I just put it into the larger category of all beers, I'll give it a 9. But, wow, this is a fantastic... And I don't say that just because it's a friend of a friend. I don't play that. I'm being honest. I love this beer. As a matter of fact, I love this beer so much, I'm going to talk to my coworker, Anthony, who brought this to me and say, hey, is he selling this? Is this a, I'll go buy it. Let me pay for this. This was a sample they gave to me because I mentioned that, I'd like to do some local breweries. I want to go buy some of this. I want more of this. I want Dave to try this. I want to review this again, although I'll probably give the same rating, obviously. But I want Dave's opinion on it, too. So I'm willing to go find Randy wherever he is and say, hey, buddy, hook me up with another growler because you are an awesome beer brewer. Again, I'll give him another plug just to be nice. Randy Young is the brewer. The company name is Darkwood Brewing. It's Facebook.com, Darkwood Brewery. Wow, good beer. Starting not to be able to talk. Facebook.com/Darkwood Brewery. Check them out. Like it, dislike it, follow them. Great stuff. Fantastic. Look forward to having more from... I expect great things from this brewery in the future because I'll tell you what, as far as pale ale goes, got it down pat. Nailed it. I can't say I've been this excited about a beer in a while. Man, really good pale ale. Do they have alcohol content on it? Well, apparently not. But, I'm feeling it. It must be pretty good. And that's it for the Jimm and Dave review. If you hate the fact that Dave's not here, please comment below. Regardless, please drink responsibly. Don't drink and drive, ever. Seriously. And leave a comment below. Share this video if you like it. Even if you have something negative to say, please. It's the only way we'll learn. Thank you very much. And Dave, I miss you, man. Why aren't you here? Oh, that's right, you had to work. cool. But I'll tell you what. In his honor, we'll do the usual. Say goodbye, Dave.
Goodbye, Dave.